And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. Someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. That wasn't even that fucking scary. That wasn't even that scary. Oh my god. Are we still gonna get a jump scare or something? Because it looks like we're gonna get a jump scare. The doorknob twitched slightly. And then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. The door was wide open. The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of the doorway. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, "Tony, you asleep?" My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. It's there again, staring at me. I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Tony, you coming?
Да, сейчас.
Yes, just a moment. Fuck's sake. There we go. Welcome to the game. Ladies and gentlemen, oh god, how do you do YouTube intros? I fucking forgot about that. A while ago, if you might remember, if you keep up with my YouTube channel, I did a let's play of a demo of a game called Tiny Bunny. I actually had a lot of fun watching it, and from the reactions, I saw that a lot of you guys liked it too. The developers actually emailed me later on and said they really liked my video, and they basically sent me a key for the full game, which I was very, very excited about because the art style and the music and everything about the game was super, super gorgeous. So the second episode of the game recently came out, like 1 or 2 days ago. I'm very excited to start playing it and check it out. I actually can't remember what kind of voices I did for any of them, so we're just gonna freestyle this. All right, we're gonna freestyle this. We're gonna run through this. Episode 2, time to play with you. I don't know how long each of the episodes are, because right now it's about 1.5 hours. Yeah, I think we'll play the second episode too. I'll see how long it's gonna be. We're at least gonna start it. Time to play with you. New school, new teachers, and most importantly, new classmates, who I always have trouble connecting with. Like most other kids with glasses, probably. What? Okay, what's the thing about the glasses? Why does everyone hate glasses in this universe? They are not that bad. Glasses are not that bad. I've never seen anyone get bullied for glasses. I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. Dad would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Oh god. Did they sleep in? Maybe it was a good thing. I didn't want to get the daddy's boy reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days when everything was so simple and easy. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneaked out to the first floor so I wouldn't wake up anybody, especially the peaceful sleeping Olya. Doesn't she have to go to school too? Like, how old is she? I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. I used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my sword touched the space between floorboards, it counted as stepping into lava. The clock was spurring me on with its hands. I need to hurry faster, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Boiling lava was bursting out of the cracks between the floorboards. I needed to watch my step, to survive at any cost. Hippity-hop, like a frog jumping on molehills, like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat, and drank it down with cold tea. My appetite was as good as of someone being led up to the scaffold toward a guillotine. How? Okay. Why would you be hungry when you're getting beheaded? Like, how is that connected? I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on 2 floorboards at the same time. But, like, imagine just being like, oh yeah, I'm getting my head cut off today. Guess it's time for some soup. Burnt to a crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little snakes writhed in my belly, the fear of getting hit and being called nasty names. The clock clicked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. Who lets their 12-year-old child walk alone to school through a dark forest in winter? Like, do the parents care at all about their children? Like, just a little bit? This darkness never fully left the houses around here. I took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glasses for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time these thick pieces of glass brought me any good fortune. Who wants to go outside there? Jesus. The sky was akin to a giant bruise. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It licked up stars from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetops. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. My parents made me wear this noose, afraid that I, being a total klutz that I am, could lose the key otherwise. The wind was whizzing outside of the gate. It invited me into my new life, towards dubious adventures, and tagged along like olden Buddy, pushing me in the back. Wide shadows that pines threw out covered a third of the clearing. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hit my nose in the coat's collar. I was squeezing through the thin firebreak, my hair ruffled up and my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. The snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the canopy of intertwined branches above my head cut off from the already sparse starlight. It is the middle of the night. Why are you going to school alone? You are 12 years old. You are 12 years old and there's been a child going missing in your neighborhood. Which normal kids just decides, oh yeah, I'm just gonna walk to school alone? Jesus. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of shaggy old women that smelled of burial earth. Their trunks turned into cracked, wrinkled faces with holes in the middle as their mouths. If I lost focus even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me into the forest steps. Then my parents would be walking around these parts, screaming my name. But the dead can't answer the living. Or can they? Ooh, are we gonna see some witch stuff? I hope that we're gonna see some witch stuff. That would be cool. I mean, pretty much the only like witch stuff I know is like Baba Yaga, but I don't know. I don't know exactly if that ties into anything. A sense of panic was growing in my chest. Well, I would be panicking too if I was walking through the forest in the middle of the night alone. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school in his hands by now, if it saved me from watching the darkness rise up in the ravines like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow squeak behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest creak. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger. As if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast it made my neck crunch. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. Tree branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel.
Есть здесь кто?
Who's there? The question escaped my lips and dissolved into the unending creaking sound of the wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? Yeah, why did you think that, Anton? Dumbass. I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from... Aren't you going to school or something? Who lured you? Aren't you like on your way to school right now? Isn't that a normal part of your daily life? Distant lights granted me a smidgen of hope. A country road. I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail will shrink, clawed hands will grip me by the shoulders, turn me around and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew to the decrepit wooden bridge, disbelieving my luck. The bridge supports bathed in the spring, tarry and ice cold. I put my hands on my knees and looked up at the forest. Then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The thicket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute lied through a snow-laden road, illuminated by sparse lamplights. Oh my god, this is so pretty! Oh my god, I want to have a poster of this. I want to have an actual poster of the art from this game. I chased away bad thoughts and was trying to run from one round area light to another as fast as I could, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like in that game where you need to be the first to proclaim, I'm protected. Well, which game? Oh, tag, okay. It's just in this case that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness writhing outside its bound. Then I noticed something remarkably eerie. What? In the place where the light of an inclined lamp couldn't reach, a hairy, crooked shadow came alive with a guttural roar. This sound is so disgusting. Like, listen to this sound design. Like, there was someone eating yogurt in a studio, alright? So, someone was eating yogurt in a studio and they recorded this and put it over this. Like, oh, stop it. Wait, are we getting like werewolves or something? That would be actually cool. It felt almost like its features deterred light, and its unnatural pose was frightening. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there, blinking, trying to chase away that illusion. Oh god, just make that sound stop. But the shadow didn't disappear and got even closer. I mean, it's wearing a jacket, so how bad can it really be? My insides were gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into a snowplow. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me in a sweet voice. Sneaking around, huh? Trying to steal my soul? Words got what? Stealing your soul? Words got stuck in my throat. Who could be talking in such a silky voice here, between the forest and the dormant village? Please say something, dummy. A cat got your tongue? Alright, I'll bite off your nose then. That'll teach you not to poke it in places it doesn't belong. A girl stood before me, judging from the voice and the silhouette. But I couldn't even reprimand myself on getting scared by a girl when I saw a gaping mouth under her hood and something dangerously shiny. How do you even know that's a girl? Like, that's just a figure in the dark. I was stunned. It is a werewolf, right? Or a fox, I think, maybe? From the cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaws weren't moving and her eyes weren't blinking. A mask? Why would you be wearing a fox mask? It's just a girl with a fox mask on. eating yogurt next to a lamppost. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept onto my face.
А я
I was
просто
just
в школу иду.
going to school and then you...
Что я?
What about me?
Никогда не
Never seen a fox feed a dog? And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's legs. One of the strays that were chasing me yesterday, probably.
Извини, я не хотел.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. I guess it still smelled of bologna that I ate for breakfast. Aw, that's cute. I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird. So, you didn't mean to, huh? What's your name?
Меня Антон.
I'm Anton.
А тебя?
And you?
А меня нет.
And I'm not. She's weird. Definitely has a couple of loose screws. I guess you guys fit together perfectly then. But she has a nice voice. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why she's wearing a fox mask. Like, why? Is she a furry? You know what? I don't judge. Didn't think I would find some furries in, I don't know, 1990s, 1980s Russia. But you know, I'm not gonna judge. My astonishment has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl I didn't know was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. This foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I shuddered from every little sound. I feel like that's a problem on her side, not on your side. Like, you should be scared. I could have just went ahead, but this girl has piqued my interest. The next time a police officer asks me about my friends at the new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking fox.
Здесь живешь?
Do you live around here?
В поселке?
In the village? The fox giggled and purred. She spun around so hard the hem of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупо.
No, dummy! Foxes don't live in villages.
Сказать, ты живешь в лесу?
So you live in the forest then? Like, is she genuinely role-playing or what's going on there?
Из какой норы ты вылез?
Have you been living under a rock?
Конечно.
It's obvious that foxes can't survive anywhere near humans.
Пока не.
As long as they're foxes. Her jokes were also weird. Just like her carnival mask. Paper mache with fur glued onto it. A dog reminded us of its existence with a loud bark. I unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge. Cookies, apples, or even my favorite crab sticks. Crab sticks. He called it a gift from the bunny. What? Why? Why a gift from the bunny? The uneaten part of a business lunch or treat. Parents would tell the children that the bunny asked them. Uneaten part of a business lunch. I've never heard that before, but that's actually kind of cute. Just like food, the rest of food. The stray strolled toward me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry.
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра
Why are you dressed like this so early in the
На
morning?
утренник идешь?
Going to a costume party? The girl shrugged, throwing silvery snowflakes off her nose. Why is she standing like that? And her human form along with them. Turning into a genuine beast. We love to see it. A real fox. Agile, cunning, dangerous. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll tear you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. Foxes usually aren't that dangerous as far as I know. Like, the most you can get from foxes is like, I don't know, rabies? Until I heard her calm, melodic laughter, hidden underneath her beastly mask.
Видел бы ты свой.
I wish you could have seen your own mask, sweetie. Your own mask? What? Did you say sweetie? I got embarrassed. Went right up to my hair boots. We'd seen a fox in a zoo once when we went there with Dad, but it had patchy fur, it was grey and skinny. But this girl was of fiery color and furry, just like in fairy tales. I was still rummaging through my backpack. My fingers that were looking for the food for the dog felt something soft and crumpled.
Ничего.
You'll see. The real beasts will wake up soon.
Спроси.
You should ask them where they got their human faces. Honestly, this is probably just a town of like were animals or something. That would actually be super cool. The girl Shadow was dancing in the lamp's light. The dog yapped in agreement. I dropped my finding into the snow from the surprise, without getting a proper chance to examine it. A cold wind instantly covered the edge of the hole it created with snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, probably thinking it was a tree. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I wanted to sink through the snow. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. All neighbors' houses were sleeping deeply in its inkiness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know. So, are you going to school? Oh my! You are a real dummy! Don't you get it? Well, I was trying to be friendly, but she can't stop mocking me. I love how you accepted all of this so quickly, calling me a dummy and all. I should have just moved along without paying any attention to this weirdo and your stupid dog. Why are you so mean? Don't answer if you don't want to. It's not like I care, baka. Still, something froze me in place, tugged me towards the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just languid enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fires burn. Oh, stop pouting! Look here! Zulka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through snow with sharp movements, snoring loudly. I mean, if you give a dog food, I feel like, of course they're gonna like you. The fox turned around and looked at the windows of a nearby house. At its timbered front through the white mist. The tip of a fake nose was shining under the lamp's light. And maybe something else too. I went red again, like a boiled crayfish this time. She talking about herself or someone else? Aw, Anton's getting a girlfriend. I hoped that the semi-dark would be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. I cleared my throat before asking. And who's that person? I waited, counting my heartbeat. The fox didn't reply. Her sly stare was scanning the frosty patterns of someone's windows. She was reading them like a glass book. I wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. The stray stopped rummaging through the snow. She ran to me, holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Could it be the one that I found in the forest? What's it doing here? When I looked closer, I realized that it was just my mitten. Maybe Mom stuffed it in there when I was asleep? A certain lost boy immediately came to mind. Hey, do you know anything about Vova? I imagined the scene. Silhouettes, dancing in the clearing. The dance on the night when Vova had disappeared. Sounds like some spooky business. A boy who, when found, can provide a big reward and maybe save my family. I remembered my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Olia to Disneyland in Paris. I've actually been in Disneyland Paris before. It's very nice. It's really neat. But instead of a long-anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console, visibly embarrassed. What? That sounds like an awesome gift, especially for like a 12-year-old. I was crying my eyes out and demanded to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when my mom and dad had a big fight. My greediness shadowed their relationship. If only I could fix everything. Gather everybody I love and take them to Disneyland. On the night Vova had disappeared, I think I saw someone looking like you dancing under my window. It couldn't be true, but it felt like her mask became even more sly. God. The fox was sniffing me out. Oh, that got you worried. For yourself or someone else? Olia, as soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened, and cold sweat started running down my spine. Well then, listen closely. A boy named Anton. This is a big and scary forest. The foxy made a decisive step forward.
И я не единственный его обитатель.
And I'm not its only tenant.
Другие звери уже
The other
знают
beasts already know about you.
Берегись нас.
Beware.
Этой ночью
We'll come see you this night too. I shouldn't have talked to this evil child form, I thought, panicking.
пока ты со своей семьей.
While both you and your parents are asleep, we'll sneak to your side and dance. What?
Чё?
Oh god.
Эй, Макарена!
What the fuck is this game? What is that? Why? Why? Yeah, that is me. That is just me. Look at you, your mouth is a game. Antosha.
Видел он
You
меня
saw me near his window at night. Yeah, right. Are you maybe not right in the head? Nobody would let me go outside that late.
так поздно здесь.
Children go missing here, you know? I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by a silly joke. She got me scared to death.
Ой, да не тереби ты,
Hey,
Оля.
why didn't you stop fondling your glasses?
Я раньше
I was also nearsighted once.
послушай.
Listen to me and maybe you'll become smarter.
Берешься. Лисичку.
Remember, what do they call foxes?
Плутов?
Cunning? How are you hurt by cunning? Hey, what did you...
Ой, прости.
Sorry. Why? I mean, that's a nice word, right? The girl laughed with the voice of two jingling silver bells.
Да шучу я.
Just pulling your leg.
Конечно, плутов.
Of course we're cunning.
Если ты...
If you're agile and brave enough to befriend a cunning fox, I'll help you look for your boba.
Ты же неспроста.
There's a reason why you're doing it, right? I shrugged in reply. Her insight was alarming.
Знаю, почему.
I know why children have been swarming our forest recently.
Порой там может...
Because you can find a lot of interesting stuff there.
Я вот одна.
One day I saw a huge pile of candy once, and I swam in it until my jaws cramped.
Челюсть слиплась.
Pile of candy? Oh god. I couldn't deduct from whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Смотрите-ка, какой
Oh, so wary. Well, what will you say to this then?
нежный.
Oh, that's actually nice. Kind of. She held out her hand in a fur mitten. In her palm was an assortment of sweets. In the city where I lived previously, sweets like that would be sold in markets or kiosks. I mean, I know what a kiosk is. I saw my favorite bubblegum in a vivid wrapper among the tasty treasure. A familiar name was on it, Turbo. The fox's triangular face nodded at me.
Угощайся.
Take some?
У меня
My pockets are full of these. You know what? Let's take it. Why not? She seems nice. I accepted the treat, catching a whiff of the girl's scent. She smelled of fur, firework smoke, and citrus, the aroma of a holiday. My fingers were tingling while I was unwrapping the gum with care. Peach aroma entered my nostrils, and there was something else to it too. Something unknown but pleasant. The fruity cube ended up in my mouth, started moving my molars, chewing the gum. It tasted like your usual Turkish gum, only my tongue went a bit numb. I couldn't believe my luck after opening the insert. Mercedes-Benz, deutsche Markenware. I looked at a Mercedes-Benz, an extremely rare and hence desirable collector's item for any boy from my previous neighborhood. My heart skipped a beat. I was barely able to tear my eyes off the insert, still stunned.
Это же...
This is...
Теперь понял, что
Yeah?
можно найти в
Do you see what can be found in the forest?
только на твоем...
Still, I wouldn't go in there alone if I were you.
Тебе вон от жвачки.
You got so flustered over simple bubblegum after all?
А представляешь,
Imagine what would happen if you find a travel case worth of these.
этих фантиков. Голову напрочь
It'll
снесёт.
surely blow your mind.
Пропала.
Unusual treats. Just like everything else about her. I carefully hid the insert inside my bag, as if I was putting a rare butterfly in a can. The fox giggled. This is not how things are supposed to go on a Monday morning. Who are you? Alright, you know what? I think I'm actually gonna pause this here for now. This is actually super fun. I like where this is going. I'm still kind of confused and like not sure what all of this is about exactly. But I guess we're gonna find out in the next episode. Or like the next time I'm playing this.